Yes.
This conference will now be recorded.
I can see Rahul is remaining to join. Any idea about Rahul, guys? Anyone knows him?
Yeah, he's joining right now.
Okay, okay.
I know, right?
Hey, Rahul. Okay, so first thing, any doubt from the previous session? Anyone, any doubt? So I'm assuming no one has any doubt. Okay.
Could you forward the previous sessions?
Rishita, today
Yeah.
most probably I will be going to create one drive. So I'll be going to put all the videos in that drive, so you can access
Okay.
the videos. Or I will be going to ask to Abhilash. He will be going to create one drive, and so you can access that.
Mm.
And also, Naresh, when we access to your Salesforce account, it will send verification code to your email, right? So instead, can you just add, 5 or 4 of us as users in there so we can just easily log in?
Sorry, I mean, yeah, that is going to ask for the verification code. So what do you want here?
So if it does that, we'll have to either add the IP address or we'll have to create users, right? So can you just create another
Uh,
couple of other users who
See,
are interested to
it's a
log in?
developer org, so we can have only one more user which is having admin access. Otherwise, other users won't be having the admin access. So if you want, I can.
Oh, okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah, then we can just add the IPs in there, IP addresses,
So
so
I'll
it won't send the verification.
set the IP ranges. Yesterday I have shared one tutorial. So have you gone through with that? And is that completed or any doubt? Or is it pending? Rahul, Shita, Sneha, Afghan, Karthik.
Still working on it, Naresh.
Sorry.
I'm still working on it.
Okay, you are still. So you need.
Yeah, I didn't get any video, Ravi or Naresh. I requested the access, so
Yeah, I have seen that you were asking for the access. Okay, today most probably till EOD, I will be going to create one drive and will share the videos there.
And I also didn't get the yesterday video.
Okay, I'll share to everyone. So even yesterday I have given one task. It was the tutorial where you need to read that out and create some components and the Apex class. So is that complete? Anyone has completed that or is still pending?
I didn't do anything, like, because I didn't get the chance to see the video. So, and whenever you are saying those things like the assignment and all, so can you put it on a notepad and send the notepad to all the people, like whom and all that? You have the email of everybody, right? So that the link and all you shared, right? But
I said not have email of everybody. Okay, what I will be going to do? You have my number, right? Everyone. So
yeah,
can anyone please create the group? So I will be sharing the information in that group.
yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah,
Okay, I believe no one has any issue in that. Because
so we
Sneha,
can create, lightning group,
yeah.
Probably we can add all our number, in the chat. So we can do it. But first, I need to learn that first 3 sessions. Whether I can join.
Okay. Now let's start. uh, Let me see where we are. Okay. So prerequisite is done. Creating Lightning component developer console is done. Lightning bundle configuration is done. Component markup. Any confusion, guys, in this component markup and component naming rules?
Hey, could you go to the component naming rules page once,
Okay.
page number 7?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And is it clear the component markup or any doubt? Okay. So let's talk about the naming rule. So basically, when we create any component, okay, and when we create any attribute in that, so all the attributes should follow the proper naming convention as we declare in case of variables. So when we declare the variable in Apex classes, so the same naming convention we are supposed to follow here. Let's say the we should follow the camel cases, like the first letter of the any variable or attribute would be in small, and if we are having the combination of words, it should be in capital. First in small, then another in capital. Let me show you. So you can see here I'm using the combination of two words, my and name. So first letter of this variable is small and the another one is capital. Same in my number and the same is with list account. So you should follow the proper naming convention whenever you are declaring any attribute.
It's completely case insensitive, right, Naresh?
Yeah,
No case
JavaScript is
sensitive.
case sensitive. JavaScript is case sensitive. But whatever is in capital, you are supposed to provide in capital. Whatever is in small, you are supposed to provide in small. If you are missing anything, you will suffer definitely because it's case sensitive and it stop working.
So here you said like public, this list account type equal to list, right? Where is that you are calling the account object? I don't see that account object is called, right?
So basically, it's a default property of JavaScript. In JavaScript, we don't need to provide the type, so
Mm-hmm.
it automatically inherit whenever we declare any variable. So it automatically typecast according to the data. If your data is integer, so the same variable is going to be typecast in the integer. If your variable is string or your data is string, so accordingly it will work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another is component namespace. Any idea guys about the namespace? Anyone has worked on the namespace part? Anyone? Any idea?
What's the question, Naresh? Sorry.
Namespace in Salesforce.
Okay, is that something you discussed yesterday, or you're just asking a question now?
This is the topic for today. You can see I have highlighted.
Okay. Yeah, whenever we install a managed package from the App Exchange, so it comes with a namespace. So it actually specifies that it's not from the current org, or it's from a different. Um, Basically, it signifies that it's a different application, or it's from a different application, whatever the code that we are looking at.
Mhm. So basically, why we use namespace, and if we won't use, then what will happen?
So all the code belonging to a certain namespace will be stored in certain memory, and the code that we write in our own org without a namespace or with a different namespace will be stored in a different memory allocation.
And different memory means how the system will going to identify like where they need to store.
I'm not totally sure. I just read this on
Okay.
one of the help articles.
Any idea, Rahul?
Uh, Even I'm not sure.
Fran?
Generally, we use a namespace for a component. Suppose because in a lighting component we have a default namespace is C colon, and after that what we write in the component name.
Mm-hmm.
So C is our namespace. So if we want to change our namespace, uh, replace the C, so we can use a namespace. Like if we have a name of Afghan, we can write like Afghan colon whatever we have a component name, we can write something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So first we have to create a namespace in a Salesforce, then we can use a namespace in a component.
Okay, okay. So see guys, let me explain the concept of namespace. So basically, to uniquely identify the Apex classes, the objects, fields, and the components, we used namespace. For example, let's say you are going to create one application and you want to deploy that application to the App Exchange. And you are having some common objects, let's say employee, students. So these are the very common objects, and there are high chances like with the same name there may be some objects in other applications also which are developed by other organizations or the other person. Correct? Is there chances or not?
Yes, sir.
Right. So what will happen in that case? Let's say you guys are developing your own app and I'm also developing my own app. You are having the same name, employee of one object, and I'm also having the same name. Okay, and let's suppose when I have been deployed my app to the App Exchange successfully, but whenever you will be trying to upload your app to the App Exchange, you won't be able to. Reason is uh, with the same name or object with the same name I have already deployed to the App Exchange, that is already on the server. and you are also going to deploy or trying to deploy the object with the same name, so it won't let you deploy because it will be hitting the uniqueness. Because at the end of the time, all the code, all the things are being stored on the Salesforce server, so it won't let you deploy because there won't be any uniqueness. You are going to create or you are going to deploy the duplicate object. So what happen? Salesforce what suggests, like, create the namespace. So namespace will be the unique over the org or over the globe, similar to the domain name. So, and that will be representing your components, guys. If you, I mean, you might have noticed some objects like abc underscore employee underscore c. So this thing is namespace, and we need to create this. It's also part of the manage package, and once we create the namespace, we cannot undo that. We cannot remove. Okay, so I'll let you know how to create. I believe you have idea about the manage package or unmanaged package. So here you need to provide your namespace. You can even go through with that. This line of text. A namespace prefix is a 1 to 15 character alphanumeric ID beginning with a letter that distinguish your package from those of other developers. Your namespace prefix must be globally unique across Salesforce.com and automatically prepend, followed by the underscores to all components in your component organization. Got it? So you want me to create namespace, or should I leave it? Because once I'll create it, I won't be able to rename. I want to be able to use.
Can you go back one screen and come back, Naresh? You are very fast actually. The screen was moved very fast.
Okay, no
Did you
issue.
do the manage package or can you go back?
See, I have typed here package. I'm going step by step.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Click on packages. Okay. So you can see developer settings, packages, edit. I have click on the edit button. Then I have click on the continue.
Okay.
I came here.
Okay, got it.
So I mean, if you think or you want, I can create it, and I can create the namespace. Otherwise, we can leave it blank. It's
So let's create it, Naresh.
okay. Sorry.
No, I was saying just let's create it, if that's okay with you.
Okay, sure. So let's provide some unique name. Check the availability. No, it's not available. Yeah, it's available. So review my selection and save it. Let me create one object now. And save it. So can you see the API name which I earlier shown you here? And whatever the field you will be going to create here, that will be going to prepend this namespace. Let me show you that one also.
So only for the lightning they use namespaces, right? Because in the real time I haven't seen like creating the object, right?
Now
They never put like a namespace.
that is not like for lightning. That is for the classic one also.
Whenever you want to create your own package, then you use the namespace. Otherwise, don't,
It's
right?
your choice. It's your choice. But best practice says create the namespace. Now you can see in the field name also it's pending the NKBSS.
Hey, Naresh, one question. So, what are the consequences if we create the namespace for existing one?
I said
Let's say if I have,
repeat your question, Rahul, one more time.
so what are the consequences if we create the namespace for existing one? Let's say if I have a running Salesforce application, I have a lot of classes, data, custom fields, and objects. I want to create the namespace. So, will that apply to all the existing API names?
Yeah, I believe so. For Salesforce is going to run the patch in backend and will be going to append that. I think so. I'm
But
not
I,
sure, but
but again, we have okay. Again, we have to reference them in the components, right? Classes
I'm
and
not sure about it, but I think so.
I don't think it will affect the previous code because there might be a lot of other web services that are already calling the existing classes in the system, right? So that would need a lot of updates on external applications. So yeah, but that's something we need to check, I guess.
Right. Even though you can quickly check, you can create one or two Apex class, and you can refer your objects, and later on you can create the namespace, and you can check.
okay. Thank you.
So coming to the namespace, now I'll show you like how we can use the namespace as part of the Lightning.
So in the real time, so whenever they do the lightning, so they always create this naming space because in my current project where I'm working, they do not have any naming space because they have lots of custom objects, but they
Currently,
never had any naming space like this.
that is the optional. This one is optional. If you want,
Okay.
that's okay. If you don't want to create, that's okay. But for the knowledge purpose, I'm sharing this information with you guys, so
Okay.
you can create. It might be needed. Okay, because let's say if you have a namespace in your org and you are going to create Lightning components, in that case you need to include the namespace in components as well. For example, as I was including here C. So C is my default namespace. That means if you don't have any namespace in your org, you will be going to use C. And if you have namespace, then you will be going to use the namespace. So as I will be previewing it, so it will be working as is. It will work as is. But if I will be going to use NBSS, NKBSS. So I will be having the same thing. You can see, because this is my namespace. Yeah, this one is
Okay.
my namespace. And for your reference, see there. If you are going to add anything which is not exist in the org, it won't let you save.
You change the syntax while you are using C, it was different, right? You remove the last line, right? Last para. I mean, last. What was that you removed?
That is nothing else. That was the closing tag of this.
Okay.
That was the closing tag.
So you don't need the closing tag while you are using the naming space?
I'm closing here. You can see I'm closing it.
Oh, okay, there is okay. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Naresh, you talked about the namespace for custom objects and custom fields, but how different or what's the importance of using that within the Lightning components like you're showing here?
So
So
basically,
even the C worked and also your namespace worked, right? So what's the difference and when we need to use one over the other?
see, there is nothing different. But if you have namespace in your org, then best practice says use namespace instead of C. If you are
Okay,
not,
and what would happen if I continue to use C until, I mean, I'm just curious.
that's okay. It will be working as is.
So even if I continue to use C, it would just work without any error?
Yeah, right. It will work. Okay. Because even you can see if I put C here, so it will be working. There won't be any. But if you have namespace in your org, so best practice is use the namespace instead of C. So C is the default. If you don't have anything, then use C.
Okay, if I use C and submit an app for an app exchange, would that create a conflict?
No, that won't.
Then what is the use of using a namespace in the Lightning component?
See, Lightning basically, it's not the concept of Lightning. It's the concept of Classic. Because it's, I mean, namespace is something which is.
No, I understand that. I mean, I understand why we use namespace in terms of, custom objects and custom fields, just to make them more unique. I
Uh-huh.
understand that. Then why is there an even option to use namespace instead of C here in Lightning component if it's not useful at all?
So basically, it might be the case like it will be going to impact if you are going to deploy your application to the App Exchange. But still, I did
Mhm.
not deploy any application to the App Exchange, so I cannot give you the correct answer about it. It might be going to impact, it might not be. But here in the developer org or even in the sandbox, it will be working fine if you are going to use C or any namespace.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's why I asked you if it was going to create a conflict if
Ah,
we submit with the same
yeah.
C as the name. Yeah. Okay. That's
So okay, so any doubt about the namespace, how we will be going to use, how we will be going to create, and what will be the use case? Okay, so guys, I mean, yesterday I have given you one assignment. Uh, and assignment was I have been shared one tutorial. So what you need to do in that, you just need to go through with that because there are a couple of steps. You just need to follow these steps to complete that. Because I'm displaying accounts here, and in that they were displaying contacts using the two components. I'll show you that the one here. I'll take you with the UI. So you can see the UI. UI will be like this. Or yesterday I have shown you in my org as well. Let me open that org because I was using the concept in the community. So so you can see UI will be like this end of the time. So first I want you guys put your efforts on that. If you have any issue, so I mean I can help you to resolve that, or if you want like I should write the code for you, so I can, but I will suggest because you got the idea, okay, how you are going to display the records. You just need to go through, don't bother about the styling or the design, just focus on the development things in the Lightning. You guys are looking a bit puzzled here.
Naresh, you have talked about the tutorial thing in the yesterday's class, right? That I mean, you didn't share any separate link or anything in this, right? Okay.
Yesterday, right? So let me show you here. No issue. Let me write the code. So what I will be going to do, there are two ways, because here I will be iterating the multiple contacts. So there are two ways. Either I can write the complete code in a single component, or I can utilize my component from another component. So but for this purpose I will be going to write two components. As let me declare one attribute. As previously I said, the meaning of attributes are just like the variables. Display contacts, this is the name, type would be contact, default in, you can put even something in default as well if you want, but here we don't need to put anything. So main thing is, you can see here in the community, uh, this information is coming as a part of the cards or a separate section. So for that we have two attributes in Lightning. One is Lightning card and another is Lightning pages, to display this at this corner and to display this information here. So we will be going to use the same tags.
So in the default, if you leave it as blank, so there won't be any value. That's what it is. In the default, you put it colon, right? Like
Right, there won't be any value in this.
so the type contact is nothing but it's a contact object, right?
Correct. Contact, standard contact object. If you have the custom one, so you will be going to provide the name of the custom object. If you have namespace in the custom object, so you will be going to provide, let's say I want to use the employee, then you will be going to put the employee like this, including
Got it.
namespace.
So, okay, so the display contact is nothing but it's the function or it's a method.
It's a variable display
Okay,
contact.
the variable. Okay.
Yeah.
Naresh, let's say if you want to assign a default value, I mean, in this case it's a contact, it doesn't make sense, but if it's an integer of type something, how do we assign default value? I mean, assigning integer is easy, but how would we assign a contact default? Sorry. Should we just write a query or something there, or?
We will be going to assign this using JS JavaScript controller. We will be querying the records the same way as we were having from the in case of accounts, we are assigning the list. You can see here. No? In default we have nothing, but we were assigning this from the JS.
Okay, okay. So since all this happens on the page load or init, it just the values are available just on load on the component load. Okay, got it.
So, lightning card. See the attribute as we are going to use, and we have some inner attributes here also. I want to put the title. So as I said, like if I want to access this variable, I will be accessing here the expression p dot display contact dot name. Right, I can access now. Let me put some small name, obj contact.
What is that card means? Lightning card means it is.
It's a variable, just a variable as you declare the variable in Apex class. If I ask you to declare the variable in case of Apex with type contact, so how you will be going to declare? Public contact and the name of the variable. It can be anything, obj name or anything, whatever you want. It's the same way. Obj name or obj con is the name, contact is the type.
No, I'm not asking that on that lightning card. You put the line number 5. What is that card means?
The lightning card, it's similar to this one. You can see it looks like a card. This one, this.
Oh, that is a card. Okay, that is card. Okay.
Okay. Got it now?
Okay. Yeah. So what is that V means? That V
Okay.
V dot.
Basically, V represents to the variable. Whenever you will be accessing any attributes which you have declared, so either in JS or either in the component, you will be using V dot variable name.
Okay.
Even though you can see here, we have been declared list, so we'll be using this list using V dot. You can see here V dot list, then this variable, and
Okay.
right, and whenever you will be hitting the controller, either Apex or JavaScript, you will be using C because we have two value providers. These are the value provider.
Okay.
V and C. So you use V for variables and C for methods, controller function.
Okay.
For example, I'm calling one init method here. You can see I'm calling the controller method called JS function, so I'm using C. And even here also I'm calling Apex class method here, so I'm using C. If I'm accessing this variable, I'm using V. So here I'm setting the value back to the component using component.set. Component.set is the syntax to set the response or the value from JavaScript to the component. If you want to get anything from the component, so we'll be using component.get. Okay. So component.get is used to get something from the component variable, and component set is used to set something the component from JavaScript.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So here I will be going to use the icon name. Icon name equals to I'm going to inherit the standard contact style. So I will be putting the standard column contact. So here I will be going to create the card for the contact, and here in this card I can get all the values whatever I want, even though, because it will be going to create the card something like this. Let me display some default information. Let's say I want to create any button. Whenever I press on the button, I want to display some details. Lightning colon button. So here in label, you can put any name, whatever you want in the label, and the on click event. C dot details. And here in other things you can display your any variable or attribute. Let's say I'm just hard coding this thing, and let me use this component here. I'm commenting it and using this component in the same application. C or NK BSS anything colon display contacts. You can see it's coming as a card. This icon is coming, details is coming. I'm not having anything in this method, so it's not displaying. So whatever the information you are going to put, it will be coming here. And let me go back to the component. Because property of this card, lightning card, is to make the content in the form of card only, nothing else. Let me use
The
light.
line 6 is the display details, right? It brings the display details that.
Uh, so there's a button. You can see it's a button. Whenever
Yeah,
you're going to click on this button, you can fire any JavaScript action, JavaScript
got
function,
it.
and you can do any operation on that.
Mm-hmm.
There is another attribute also, lightning base. So you can see property of base is here. It will be going to display anything whatever you are going to put like this at the corner side.
Naresh, why don't we see that, the card-like thing that we see in the community? Why don't we see that?
Because it's not yet
What is,
completely designed. There are a couple of things which are remaining.
okay.
Okay, once we will design all the things, so it will be coming like this only.
Okay.
So that's the reason I said, like, first go through with the tutorial and utilize that thing. Try to understand. If you get any issue, any doubt, come to me. I will help you in that. I'll help you with the doubts, and you will be getting some exposure as well.
Okay.
You can
So you're just explain. So right now, whatever you're explaining is kind of a solution for what you gave yesterday.
yeah, cause I'm just explaining like how you are going to use these tags. Lightning card,
Okay.
lightning images, what will be the use. Otherwise, hardly it will be taking 10 to 15 minutes for me to display the contacts here.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but, for your practice, just spend some time on that. But everything is
Right.
there. Everything is there in the tutorial if you go through. And even though they have explained these steps also,
Oh,
just repeat these steps. I don't think so. You will be having any issue or any doubt. But if you have, just come with me. Come to me, or I'll help you in that. Don't bother about the styling. Don't be more focused on that. Or that's the part of the UI things. But still focus on the data or the development, like how they are going to display data, when they are pressing any button, so what action they are firing, how that's working on these things.
okay.
Okay, guys.
So what is that app? So you have to have one app, one component. What else you have to have? Like, so app is must for creating this lightning component.
Right there, no, basically to execute the component, we create the app. So we can either include or utilize the app, or we can also use the community builder, communities, Lightning community. Because here in my case, I'm using the community. This is the community which I have been created, customer community. I am building my Lightning component here. I'm using that. Even it's working for filters as well. We have filtered these filters are here.
Mm-hmm.
It's working here. It's displaying only two records. If I change this one, it's displaying only one record. If I change to all, it will be displaying all the records. So
So in real time, we won't be using community, right? We'll be using the app, right? That's what it is.
not like community, you can utilize in couple of ways. I'll be teaching you all the ways. So the first way
Okay.
is using app.
So is the community builder same as the lighting page? Both are same or different?
No, community is community builder. Basically, you in that we can utilize the Lightning components, Apex class, ANVF pages, charts, reports, dashboard, standard or custom tabs. These things we can access.
It's just like a home page, right?
Correct. But inside this, we can have the multiple options as well. But later on, I mean, when we'll be binding the session or end of the time, definitely I will be going to show you the community also, like how you can create the community, how you can include your component inside the community, all these things. Don't worry about that, even though that is not in the content, but I'll show you. But that nowadays, that is also the important thing. You should know about the communities. Okay.
So, what's the purpose of the community exactly?
Sorry, Sita, could you please come again?
Yeah, what's the purpose of this community exactly?
I said na, I'm going to explain. When I will be covering this topic, community one, I will be going to explain this. But it will be taking the complete at least one or two session.
Okay.
Okay.
So in real time, in the real project, generally you will have Lightning app, whenever they ask you to build, right? So basically, you need to build the component, then the Lightning app, then the JavaScript,
No,
all
no.
those stuff, right?
Lightning app will be the optional, because you can include your component inside community. You can include your component inside app builder, or you can put your component on detail page of any record. So it will be
Okay.
optional app.
Okay. Basically, what I'm trying to understand is like we are converting from Salesforce Classic to Lightning, right?
Uh-huh.
Once we convert it to Lightning, so there are some enhancements coming, right? So all those things where you will be developing, you will be developing under the app, or I'm trying to
Under
get
the
the picture
component.
like how it will be in
You're
the
working
real time.
under the component.
Okay.
And
Do you have any real-time project that you have done or something like in your Lightning experience you can show to us like how this is? Like,
I will be going to create the one project later on. No worry about that.
I mean the real-time project that you are working on or something, you know,
So basically,
in your company.
due to the company policy, I cannot show you that one.
No. Okay. No, I think have you done anything like that replication in your dev sandbox, something like for your practicing and all? No?
So, there are a couple of things I can show you that one, but I need to ask because I'm used to share the credentials and I'm used to create the different developer org credential or org account whenever I'm taking any new batch. In the previous batch, I need to connect to my students, so I can show you that project also. No worries.
Yeah. Basically, I'm trying to picturize how in the real time, right? This and all I understand like what you are trying to
Real
do, but in
time,
the real time,
real time. See, basically, let me show you.
so for example, you are going for an interview, right? So you say like you created a component means where did you deploy, what did you do, and everything.
So you can simply for your purpose or testing purpose you can utilize the app, or
Hmm.
let's say your company is using the communities, and you can use your
Hmm.
component inside community as well. Or let me click on this account. So you don't have any.
So this is a component now, or it's like just Lightning version, Lightning experience, right? That's all it is,
Standard
right?
UI, standard UI. Okay, they
Mm-hmm.
are
Okay.
related things. You can see new, related news, details, something, something. If you want to put your component like create contacts and you want to create one button here,
Mm-hmm.
some
So
simple,
the news itself is a component, or
you can put your component here by creating any like create contact something button.
okay.
So there is also, this is also the one way you can utilize, you can use your components here. You can directly put your component here by editing this.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be covering these use cases, don't worry. If I edit the page,
So where did you go now? I didn't. It was very fast. You moved it very fast. Where were you before, right? Can you go back and show us what did you do like actually?
mhm,
So you were under the accounts.
yeah, I click on this icon, I click on the edit page.
Okay. Edit page. Okay. Okay. This is how you see all the components. Okay. Got it.
So similarly, you can put your component. I'm going to add new tab here. If you are any standard activity, you can use standard activity. If you are custom, you can use custom. Done. And from here, you can fetch your component which you have been created. Actually, my components are not enabled for the Lightning. So first, I need to enable my component for Lightning. We have some tag. Here we need to implement that thing, that tag. I can but now I need to refresh it. And I need to provide the accessibility, like which will be using this app or this letter list. So here now that component should be available. You can see first Lightning component. This is available here. So you can even drag and drop this component, and you can utilize that. If you are going to drag and drop somewhere here, so it will be coming. It will be overlaying that thing. You can see here your record is coming. If I save it as is and then go back, so the lightning page is overriding that part. You can see uh, this is due to the R change, R component. Welcome to lightning. So this is coming here. So you can put accordingly. I will put it here. Even by creating the related list, you can put that here.
Okay. So you need to adjust all those layouts and everything, right, to make it correctly.
Correct. I'm just removing. Let's say all accounts. Now I'm going to put my component here and save it. So whenever I will be going to click on the all account, I will be going to call that component and having all the accounts here. You can see.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
this is the part of the. I mean, we are calling or using our component here.
Mm-hmm.
Naresh, how to go to the contacts record page when you click that edit page?
I did not get this either. What your question?
How to go to the contacts page? How to edit the contacts page?
Contact. Which contact you want to edit? Just simply go to the contact record for that. Even though I'm not getting your question properly, but yeah, go to the any contact record.
Okay, how to edit this page?
Ah,
So how to add the components in the contacts? Yeah,
click
Lightning components.
click on this icon. Can you see this icon?
Yeah.
Edit page.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay. Okay. So first we have to open the contacts tab, right?
Correct,
After that we have to edit the page, right?
correct.
Yeah, okay.
If you scroll down, can you show the component that you develop? Is it still there? It will be appearing all the time, right? So in all the pages, you scroll down, the
That,
left side, the components, yeah, okay.
yeah.
It will appear all the objects, right? Even including the custom objects that we have.
Because we are enabling that globally.
Okay, okay, okay.
You can see I have been using this activity globally, and we are available. I mean, you are using app possible, available for all page types.
Okay.
Naresh, what are the other possible values for that access type view?
So
Can you just scroll down to your right in this?
can you see this?
No, in the same file. If you can just scroll down to your right.
Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, these values comes when you click check these checkbox. If you want to create a tab for this component, you need to click on this. So when you will be going to create the tab, is this component will be going to display there. If you want to click create page, so for the page it will be going to display. If you want to create record page, then again it will be going to display there. If you want to create Lightning community space, then it will be going to display. And if you want to use quick action, then it will be going to display there in the quick action.
And Naresh, what's the difference between the second and third one? What is Lightning page and Lightning record page?
See, Lightning record page is something this one. As we
It's
are
like a inline, it's like within the record
correct.
detail, right? Right. Then what is Lightning page?
And Lightning page is something when we display. It's kind of or similar to the tab. There is slightly different in case of tab and this page.
I mean,
So
is
something
it
so something similar to, let's say, if you develop a Visual Force page, the standard controller we can use within the detail. So that's basically record page.
Uh-huh.
And if we just use a Visual Force page that can be used anywhere else, that needs or that's similar to Lightning page, isn't it, right? But that can be used anywhere, not just within the record detail.
I did not get your question.
Um, so if we develop a Lightning page, where would we use it? That's my question.
No, basically, see what happened in case of Lightning tab. So when you Lightning tab will be like your Visual Force tab. When you will click on the tab, whatever the data you have, that will be going to display. But for the Lightning page, you can customize that, or you can have the custom layout for the mobile applications. Because you will be going to use the Lightning in mobile also. So we create and for the mobile, we create the Lightning pages.
Okay, man. I mean, my question is, so where would we call the Lightning page from? From any buttons?
No, from I mean once you have created the Lightning page, so you can enable that page for the mobile. Salesforce Salesforce A application.
Yeah, but we need to include it somewhere, right? I mean, we need to include it
So
somewhere.
That
Where
will
do
be
we
going
call it from?
that will be going to, because whenever you will be going to enable that component or that page for the mobile, you will be going to create similar like tab or similar like options. So whenever you will be going to press on that tab, that will be going to display.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
so can we set this lightning page as default when we open the accounts
we can,
tab,
we can,
like in the Visual Force?
right? We can.
Okay.
Okay, guys.
so? Is that the only way? Just one question, Naresh, before you end up the session. So is that the only way that you use the Lightning page for mobile, or
Yeah.
you can also use for the Salesforce application,
Uh,
like the browser application?
Basically for the mobile only.
Okay, mainly for the mobile. Yeah, that's what you're saying, right?
Right.
Naresh, I mean, idea of Lightning itself is to be compatible across all the platforms, right? Then why would you say it only mobile?
Because we are creating the Lightning pages. We are talking about the complete Lightning that is the compatible with all the systems we have, but we have the options like which option where we need to use.
Okay.
So in Visual Force we use it as default, right? So can we use this in the same way in the Lightning also?
I mean, what default? Lightning page or Lightning tab or what?
Lightning page. So in Visual Force we create some pages, right? Using some standard or custom controller. So in the same way here also we create using the Lightning components, and can we set it as default
Basically,
when we open some?
you can make the Lightning components default, but not like page. Page will be default for the mobile applications, and you can create the tabs. So you can make the tab as default Lightning for the other devices.
Naresh, in other words, can we override the new button for any object
Yeah, we can.
using the Lightning component?
We can.
Okay, I mean, similar to how we call or we have a Visual Force page behind that new button, can we just override the Lightning component itself?
So basically, but for the overridden option, we need to create first VF page. Then we need to call our Lightning component via VF
In
page.
that
That
region.
will be able to.
Yeah, because it makes sense. Because at the override, there is no option for a Lightning component to choose. So that's the only option is Visual Force page. From there, we'll have to call the Lightning component. Okay.
Correct. So any more question, guys?
No questions from me, but can you please make sure to share all the videos today, please?
Yeah, definitely.
And also the document, Naresh.
Okay.
That'd be great. Read the document.
Is your name is Naresh or Ravi? Because it says Ravi, right? So
Both are my name. One is my nickname and one is my another document name. So you can call me by any name. Naresh, Ravi, both are fine.
Okay, cool. And who's taking in charge of creating a WhatsApp group here?
Anyone, Nikhil, you can.
I can. I mean, if anyone, I mean, if everyone can share their numbers in this chat, I
Yeah,
can
we'll
just quickly.
share the numbers here so you can create the group.
Yes. Can you please do that now?
Yep.
I have Rahul's, I have Naresh. I need the remaining ones. And can you mention which numbers are from India and which are not from India? Afghan, is your number from India?
Yes, it's from India. Yeah, it's from India.
Okay. And what about your Sneha? Is that from India?
No, she's from US.
Okay. And Rishita? Yes.
Yeah, mine is US.
Yeah, okay, got it. Karthik, what about yours?
Mine is US. I just sent
Yeah.
it.
Okay, I got everyone's. Yeah, I think we should be good.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you guys. Thanks for joining. Bye bye. Take care.